Welcome to Ham Shack Reviews. My name is Vince, and today I want to show you how to make a Elecraft K4 to LA1K amplifier interface cable. Now, the same principles could apply to any radio and amplifier as long as they're compatible. Now, on the back of the Elecraft K4, we're going to use this accessory port, which I believe is a DB15 female. On the back of the LA1K amplifier, we're going to use this male DB9 connector, or you could call it a RS232. You see this connector here will work for ICOM and Yaesu, and then you got a connector down here that works for Kenwood. And both the LA1K and the Elecraft K4 is compatible with Yaesu, Elecraft, and Kenwood, so you could use either one. But for this one, you would have to order a male connector because this one is a female. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is order your connectors. What I did was I ordered a DB9 connector with 3-foot of cable already attached to it. Now, my amplifier was right next to my radio. You may want to go with a little bit longer, like a 5-foot or a 6-foot cable if it's further away. But the 3-foot worked fine for me being next to it. And I ordered a 4-pack, which gave me 2 females and 2 males, so I had both a male and a female, and I was good on this. Now, if you plan to wire the LA1K to a Kenwood or to the Elecraft using the Kenwood connections, because it's less wires, you will want to get the same DB9, but you want to get it in the opposite. You want to get it in a male connector. Now, the next thing you're going to need is to go to the Elecraft K4 manual and bring up the wiring diagram for the accessory port. Or the main thing you need is this wire and pinout chart right here. But also you have this DCBA chart, which actually in Elecraft they use numbers 3210, which is actually backwards. I don't know why they put it backwards, but it actually goes 0123. But this here will tell you if it's compatible with the amplifier you're using. Then you're going to want to go over to the Palstar manual, LA1K manual, and you're going to want to get the same pinout chart right here. And also up here you'll see your DCBA cables, which they also run backwards. It actually goes ABCD. And if you wanted to use ICOM, here's what you need for ICOM. And if you notice down here, you'll see you'll have your ABCD, which will work for the Yaesu and Elecraft. And then you got your 2 for Kenwood, which you'll need for Kenwood. Now right here it shows only one ICOM connection, so that must go to ground, because you see it's switched by actual voltages on that one particular wire. Okay, here's some information that I came up with and actually used to make my cable. Now this information right here in red, you'll see is this DCBA information we gathered, the 0123 from Elecraft and the ABCD from Palstar. Now on this side is the DE15 pinout with the pins that we used, and on this side is the LA1K, the DB9 cable I used with the pins that we used. Now I actually had to use an ohm meter and trace out these colors to match the pins. If you buy the same cable, it will be this color and you'll already be good to go. If not, it's just an extra step to trace these out. Make sure you get them correct. Now up here I made a simple diagram showing you the connections, but they're the same connections that are here, so I'm going to go over these with you. Pin 13 on the DE15, which would be the 0 in the DCBA chart, will go to A, which would be the brown, which would be pin 2 in the DB9. Same here with pin 3, which would be number 1, would go to B, which would be black on pin 1 on the DB9. And here on the DB15, pin 9, which would be number 2 in the DCBA, would go to C, Charlie, which is the white wire, which would go to pin 9. So that's pretty much just straight across. Now pin 14, which would be number 3, will go to D delta, which is the gray wire on the wire that we selected, which would be pin 8. Now that handles your 4 DCBA connections. Now what you need to do is run a ground, which there's actually 2 grounds in this. I believe it's number 6 and number 12. I chose 12 for some reason. I think it was just easier to get to and it worked fine. So pin 12 in the 15-pin connector will go to pin 6 in the DB9 connector, which was the blue wire. Now, this one here is optional. This depends if you want to have radio key to amplifier through the interface cable or through the use of the phono plug jack that's on the back. Sometimes this is needed when using like an external tuner, because you want the tuner to tune before it actually keys the amplifier. I did it this way, but I also have a tuner that works with the phono, so I may be pulling that at a later date, and that would be the purple wire. Make up your connections and you put it in, and you should be good to go. On this information here in red, I actually contacted Elecraft to double check my work, and it was correct, and I made the cable and it works. So I'm speaking from experience here. I hope you found this helpful. I hope it will get you on the air with your amplifier, and you can also use this information to figure out how to wire other radios and other amplifiers. Remember to subscribe, ding that bell, give me a like and share, and 73s.